Welcome into another Fountain Report conversation. I'm Matt Bubala. I'm joined today by Nader Qaimari. He is the CEO of Edcetera. They are the owners of VetPrep, a veterinary education company. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Matt.
You guys have tools that help veterinary students and vet tech students prepare for their boards and their journeys throughout their veterinary careers. What is the thing you're most passionate about helping with right now?
As you said, we've been working with vet students and vet tech students really for more than a decade now. Edcetera owns VetPrep and Vet Tech Prep, which we've owned for a number of years. And, as we've helped them with their boards, that's been obviously the primary focus. But in terms of my passion and the company's passion, it's really about figuring out what's next. Okay, so you pass your boards, hopefully, and then you're now a veterinarian or a vet tech. What do you learn next? What do you have to do next? Sometimes, continuing education may not be required immediately, so we do offer continuing education. But what are some additional skills that a veterinarian needs now that they actually have to go in and navigate the workforce, or eventually get on that path of owning their own practice or whatnot? So I think our passion is really anticipating the learning needs and the support that they need from their peers and so forth, and mentoring, coaching at that next stage in the journey, which I think a lot of organizations don't focus enough on, to be honest.
Well, let's jump back to that first part, the boards. You mentioned the boards for veterinary students, for tech students, a big stress in their life. How does Edcetera help them on that journey?
Right. So we've been working on the software for quite some time and content, and we try and get as close as possible to the format of the NAVLE and the VITNI as possible. We also kind of believe in this concept of exam mimicry. So we want the environment, the experience to be as akin or as similar to the actual exam experience as possible, so that you go in to the exam feeling a sense of comfort. Because I feel like when you're comfortable in your environment and you're like, oh, I've seen that before, I know what that button does, a lot of that stress kind of dissipates. But it's not just about content, and it's not just about answering questions and practicing. We also feel like there's just additional support that needs to be offered. So whether it be emotional support, whether it just be test-taking strategies. So we started a series a while back, Power Prep, which is a free series for students to come in and actually take these different coaching sessions basically in a group setting, learn about the different topic areas of the exam, also get additional skills like test-taking skills, anxiety management, things of that nature. And that's been really, really wildly successful. We get hundreds and hundreds of students that go through that. But now we're really looking at, okay, how can we take this really to the next level? So last year we launched a community, which all students who are part of VetPrep automatically get put into that community. And then the concept is, okay, I have students obviously in my veterinary program, which I might relate to and be able to talk to, but I actually may be more aligned to someone all the way across the country going through the exact same experience. So how can I actually find those people? So the goal of this was to bring all veterinary students going through the same thing together in one spot, connect them with coaches, mentors, other students who are dealing with similar situations, and then our own resources, so they really get that support every step of the way. So that's been a primary focus of ours. And now we're adding some additional resources there to even do one-on-one coaching, mentoring, connecting people to mentors so that you can have those open conversations around different issues you're running into. And that's really where we want to be. We don't want to just be a question bank. We don't want to just be a software. We want to really be that support system and using the wonders of technology to bring similarly minded people together to meet the same objective.
As you strive to build the company to be more throughout your veterinary career and be with you every step of the way, where do you see education going? Especially, we talk so much about AI right now. How are you working to make sure that you're harnessing AI for good and not, as we so much fear that it's going to lead people down bad paths?
In health professions, which we, by the way, operate in 18 different industries, and veterinary is our largest and probably our primary one, health professions are all about peer review. It's, any publication, any piece of content really has to be validated by other professionals because you're dealing with life and death. It's not where I'm, just doing some sort of job where AI, yes, could replace it or whatnot. No, these are situations where you're really dealing with life and death. So we're not looking at AI coming in and replacing anything that we're doing or what veterinarians are doing. the concept for us, the whole idea of AI for us, it's actually a great tool for efficiency. So as opposed to having to do something manually and take 3 hours out of your day that could have been spent dealing with patients or doing other work, let's get that out of the way. But the core of what we do, which is research, understanding, communicating with clients, all that, that has to be done in person. And that's what we really need to focus in on. So for us, AI is really about taking a PDF and turning it into a video, right? That could have taken a long time. We could maybe make something a little more exciting through audio visual, but it's not about rewriting that content using AI. For us, that has to be done by doctors. It has to be done by scientists. It has to be peer reviewed. Question banks, the questions in those question banks, they have to be reviewed by students who have actually gone through the exam and say, yes, this is something I saw in the NAVLE or the VITNI, and it's going to help another student pass that test. So that's really what's important to us.
Nader Qaimari, the CEO of Edcetera, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Matt. Pleasure being here.
That's another Fountain Report Conversation. I'm Matt Bubala. We'll see you next time.